cut your fabric out in preparation for your project. Take a binding piece, fold it in half lengthways and press it with your fingers. Make your main fabric square wrong side up and lay your binding raw edges along the raw edges of your fabric piece. Clip in place. Repeat on the other side. You can use pins if you don't like clips. You're going to stitch this with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, back tacking at either end. With the edge of your presser foot on the raw edge of your fabric, start with a back tack. Sew down to the bottom and finish with a back tack. Repeat on the other side. Once you've stitched your binding in place, you're going to trim back your seam allowance by half. Repeat on the other end. This is going to reduce the bulk and allow you to turn your binding neatly. Press up your seam allowances towards the binding on both ends. Fold your binding over the seam allowances and press in place. Repeat on both sides. Use plenty of steam to make sure that the crease stays put. Top stitch in place close to the open edge. Repeat on both sides. Trim off the excess 1/4 inch of binding hanging over either end. Fold your panel wrong sides together and finger press the centre marking. Open back out again and bring the binding edges in to the central press line. Make sure the binding edges are touching each other and they're nice and snug, and then clip or pin in place. If you don't have quilting clips, small bulldog clips are very good for this. Next, you're going to stitch up both sides using a 1/8 inch seam allowance. At the moment, you're wrong sides together. We're creating a French seam to enclose all of those raw edges. Repeat on both ends. Once you've stitched, turn it in the wrong way. Be sure to poke out all the corners. You can use a chopstick here if that helps. Make sure it's nice and flat and give it a bit of a press at this point. Again, steam is your friend. Now we're going to stitch down both ends with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Our fabric is now right sides together, and this stitch will enclose our raw edges. Remember to back tack at the start and finish of each seam. Snip off any ends, turn in the right way, poke out those corners, and again use a chopstick if you need to. Admire your finished product and insert a pack of tissues. And there you have it, the finished product. Ta-da!